And we are live. Christy Maga.
America.
Sis, took me about 20 minutes to get on here. I had to reset my software. Like, people don't even know, not to sit here and say, oh, it's hard, but sometimes it gets tough. There's either a glitch or something messed up with the system, and we got to work through the kinks. And then
Yeah, I
I got
mean,
to
there's
work
been
tomorrow. Go ahead.
yeah, there's been times that we've been on the phone sometimes 45 or 50 minutes getting a show together,
Mm-hmm.
and that's without you doing the mic check and the audio check and the video check and all of that. So it takes a while.
It's just best sometimes anybody watching you want to have your stuff ready to rock and roll, jump in the seat. I come in my little jet seat. I feel like I'm a pilot since I jump in here, and but sometimes it just don't line up. But what it took, I'm going through all these settings to stream correctly, and what it took me to do was just to reset my to reset the software. But anyways, I don't want to bore
Yeah.
everybody. What's up, everybody? Got a quick little show. You want to jump a show real quick, y'all, on all plats. We're streaming on everywhere. I just want to honestly just shout out everybody that's followed us on all our plats, y'all. We just appreciate y'all. We made a big splash on TikTok as of late, and I'm doing this stream directly here. I wanted to stream also on TikTok, but in order to do that, I was going to have to do like 2 different streams, and it's already kind of late, and I didn't want to do it. But Christy, I just appreciate everybody that has followed us for a long time, and especially, man, on Facebook, man. Facebook has really shown me a lot of love, sis. I really appreciate Facebook out of all of them. And I'm not really on IG that much anymore, but Facebook and YouTube, we appreciate y'all. Everybody if you've shared any of my stuff, commented, whatever, we really appreciate you. And we're almost at 62,000 followers on Facebook, sis. Let's go.
That's awesome. And there's just so many people, like I just jumped into YouTube, that have been like ride or dies with us for so long now. Look, I mean, like,
Yup.
our brother Frankie that's in there, and Queen,
Fino.
and all these people that just have just been with us for so long. Really appreciate them.
Yup.
And
Yup.
we're still continuing to do our thing and trying
Mm-hmm.
new formats and all that, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's tough to be doing content. I talked about it before, and I ain't trying to like always say it again and again. But it is tough to be consistent. But I think we've been pretty consistent, especially on the Facebook page. I post like hourly there, and I'm pretty good over there. I got pretty good reach, so I'm happy that we have been consistent with all the issues we've had in life. It's like I'm not really like I'm a content creator, but I'm a father, a husband. I run a business. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us, we're just regular people. It's not like we're like pro. I guess we are pro content creators, right? But it's not like we do this full time. We just run our businesses and we rock and roll. Anyways, hey, shout out everybody up in here, man. Kendrick, who else is in here? Whoever is in here watching us, thank you. And we're gonna get to the show momentarily. I'm doing a quick mic check. Go ahead and take it over real quick, Christy. Go ahead.
Um, so I just wanted to tell everybody that we also on Facebook real quick that we have a new group in there also. It's Nino's America, and it looks like the picture is like a digitalized kind of like small Nino America. What is it, Mario? Is that what it is that you have on that picture? But yeah, I want to get that account grown too.
Keep going. I'm checking something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we've got that going. We've really been hitting it hard on TikTok and on
Yeah.
Facebook, and just continue to grow the platform. And we just appreciate everybody so much. I'm so glad whenever like I see people that I haven't seen in a while. I was on TikTok so much that I really wasn't coming over to YouTube much, and have missed a bunch of those people over there.
Yeah, shout out everybody in here. Someone says, if you are doing reaction videos still, please react to Hoodstocks interviewing Texas Dongo Blast ex-leader tonight. The way they glorify being a criminal is sickening. I agree, and there's an interesting statement here. I actually wanted to do some reactions to Hoodstocks. Me and, I appreciate it, Frankie says, hit the like button.
Hit the thumbs up
Yes,
button.
thank you. I actually want to do some reactions to Hoodstocks. I think I've done 1 or 2 in the past. We kind of got into it. Me and Lucky. I don't remember if you remember, sis, but I posted that guy that was throwing bricks at the. They had like a $50,000, $30,000 bounty on his head, and I posted on my page. And Lucky from Hoodstocks was following me because I did a video on him. He had made some kind of a video. And he followed me, and he got mad, sis. He's like, man, why you being a snitch? I'm like, what the hell, being a snitch? Let's be honest. What a snitch is. A snitch is. I'm not a snitch. Okay, let's be completely honest. I'm not a criminal. Okay, I don't commit crimes, and I'm not part of any street codes or prison gangs or street gangs. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm a business owner, and if somebody's committing a crime, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna report them.
Yeah.
So he
Absolutely.
didn't like that. Since he got real mad and upset, and then I had to go ahead and quit following him. He did the same because he was mad that I was putting that wanted info. When they were out there harassing ICE, crazy.
Well, and we could do this would be a whole nother show, a whole nother episode. I'm just going to make this real quick
Yeah,
comment. Like, I have lived firsthand what it's like for somebody close to you to be completely married to the streets. I will never
I'm
understand it.
telling you,
I will never understand the criminal lifestyle. I will never understand the mindset. I will never understand the fast money and like literally foregoing possible eternity in heaven versus living your sinful lustful ways on earth, and that's not for me to judge, but I can judge the street life, and it is,
amen.
I don't understand why people glorify it.
And
Makes no sense.
and speaking of the street life, I mean, this is what it's turned into, y'all. I got this post up right here, Christy, from my Facebook page. Y'all check it out. America. A couple black guys wearing skirts. This is the new trend. So this is basically what the streets have turned into. I've seen this. I've seen some crazy shootings. Some rapper got smoked in Memphis. They're shooting in a neighborhood. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But like I said, from
Memphis is
that,
crazy.
yeah, I know I've heard it. From that to this is the street life, y'all. Like back in my day, we had codes. I remember my brother Fino, Frankie G's in the building. He already knows it was a lot different back in our day, and this has gotten worse and
Hmm.
worse. Where these kids don't care. There's no respect, which there's no loyalty in the street. Let's be honest. But I just know when I was in the street, sis, when I was I kind of got the street about 20 years old. By 19, I was getting out the game already. But back in my day in the street, it was a little bit different. But nowadays, this is the street guys right here, y'all. They're wearing skirts, and this is the. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this is some kind of CIA plant maneuver or brainwashing. What kind of man would do this? But this is what they do nowadays. So, anyways, go ahead, sis.
Well, I think I posted on that thing, and I know that a lot of people are not going to agree with my stance, but I have got my son that has become the strongest patriot I know,
Mm-hmm.
has enlisted in boot camp and has requested to go to the toughest basic training that there is at Fort Benning. He has decided he wants to do frontline infantry combat, and he also wants to do airborne infantry combat. And so where I thought I was going to be able to see him in 3 months, it is now turned into a 6 month basic training type
And,
of situation. But I am telling you right now, Nino, he is fighting for those people's freedoms. But if that right there would have ever been my son in a dress or in makeup, and you have people like Dwayne Wade and Magic Johnson and all these people, Jamie Lee Curtis, that completely cater to having their children
mm-hmm.
identify as whatever they identify as, I I, I would have disowned him, and I'm serious. I seriously would have.
Mm.
He would not have lived
And,
with me anymore.
and same here. And I'm gonna be honest. If I gotta sneeze, hold on.
Okay, but yeah, it's just. I mean, it just is seeing these things come out and all that. Like, they obviously never were brought up by a family that had ever picked up a
So
Bible.
yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. It's like my kids, right? Back to the street code and into raising kids. Like my son called my wife, and I won't tell too much information. I'll talk about it in a minute. We got a TikTok globe over here. Freaking skeeter in here. Freaking mosquitoes everywhere in West Texas. I don't even know if it was, but we blew up on TikTok and like man over there, y'all, they trying to dox your boy, putting out lying videos on your boy, all kinds of weird stuff that they're doing on TikTok. But I say this, my kids, and I won't talk too much about my kids, and especially now, these people are weirdos. But I'll say this,
Mhm.
my son got him a brand new house, and then I ain't gonna lie, I've had family members. I made a post about it on my Facebook page. They made fun of my house. You know what I'm saying? It's not the biggest house, but to be honest, I told my wife the other day, I said, shoot, my house is big. I've come, everybody that I know, their houses are medium sized. They're not freaking huge houses. But I'm just saying, I said to say this. I've been made fun of due to me having my house here in the hood, the ghetto south side. Man, it's a brand new build, brick. I mean, it's a nice house. I mean, it was our first house. We almost painted it off because we got 20 years in it. You know what I'm saying? We're grateful to have this house, but haters how they are. But the point is, my son, his house, he's probably the person I know that has the biggest house in the whole family and friends that I know. My son got to $500,000 house. It's freaking beautiful. So you
Yep.
know what? People could clown and say what they want about me, about my house or whatever. But you know what? Even when they make fun of my teeth, I ain't got perfect teeth, but my kids do. I ain't got the biggest,
But
nicest
and
house, which it's nice. But my son has a better house than me. So in other words, I want my kids to do better and to have better than what I got.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We should. There's people that want their kids to be thugs. There's people that want their kids to
Mm-hmm.
continue this ghetto mindset, not me. I want my
Mm-hmm.
kids to do better. My son, he grew up, he don't know nothing about the street. Both my boys don't know nothing about the street, and I'm thankful. My oldest boy, I mean, he don't do no kind of substances. He has a job in the oil field. He gets randoms. He don't have a problem, doing a UA. And I ain't gonna lie, he drinks a little wine here with his girl, and he has some beers in the fridge or whatever. But he's like 22 already. I mean, he's a grown man. He can do what he wants to do, but he don't even really even drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, if he wants to get home from work and drink him a beer, that's on him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I raised him a certain way to where he doesn't like twist off like that. And I don't want my kids to be like that. You know what I'm saying? To be street people or people that are just like low lives. I mean, I come from a generation in a people and a mindset that's all we were, and I wanted better. And I kid you not, they make fun of me and they hate on me, my own people too. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really ain't got nobody left in my circle. But they'd always tell me, sis, oh, you think you're white. Oh, you want to act white. Just because I want to do better in life, that's what they would tell me, and they would even make fun of my kids. They're not street kids, or my youngest boy. He's like borderline genius, and he's not nothing. He's an innocent
I
kid.
love you.
You know what I'm saying? He don't know nothing about the street, sis. But I'm just saying, people like this, people that push a street mentality, it's sick, it's perverse, and I want my kids to remain kids and not be, a street thug at freaking 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So from a young age, that's what I taught my son also, is that I want him to always be better than me. I want his
Yup.
kids to be better than him. And that's how you break those generational curses. That's how you get people out of the mindset that ancestors have passed down, that, people can go out and do whatever they want now. And for some people, and that's what bothers me so much. For some people, maybe live in an apartment is what they want to do
Yeah,
with their
or a
life. They
trailer.
want a
I grew up in a
very,
trailer. I grew up in a trailer too a little bit of my
yeah,
life.
a very simple lifestyle, and but are going to have a very great retirement. Or maybe people want the $500,000 homes, and that's the choice that they make. But all these people that come out with all these judgments and all of this, it's just amazing to me. They, I don't know. I just think that breaking generational curses and
Hmm.
allowing your kids to always be better than you were is just all the way, all the way to go. And
And
yeah.
I made a post. I told my wife, I said, "Damn, some of my posts I just write from my heart. Like even my kids, and all my family, they know I know how to write good. I'm a good writer. I mean, obviously, if you make content, you got to be somewhat of a writer. But I made a post about this, like I've been made fun of about my house being in the ghetto or the hood or not the biggest house or whatever. But some people don't want to get in heavy debt. I could buy me a $700,000 house tomorrow if I want. I got badass credit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? My credit's at 820 plus, but sometimes people don't want to. I don't want to have payments.
Nope.
And then
Nope.
I even thought about it. I said, sometimes if you can't afford something, it's okay to admit you can't afford it. Some people
I
want to keep
told
up
you
with the
how.
Joneses, sis, and they just want to,
Mhm.
trade in their car every couple of years, not pay them off. Well, I drive a 2010. My car's paid off. My wife drives a newer
I
car,
told you.
but I live within my means, and I don't like debt, and I don't like to be making payments on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie. When I've said it before, when people buy new cars, I'm kind of I hate to be. I'm not trying to be a hater. I try to hold my tongue when they come and show me, but I ask questions like, "What's the interest rate? What are your payments?" You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
then I'm like, "Why did you do this? Why did you need it?" You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be the bearer
Yep.
of bad news, but don't show me a car and car payments. Show me that blue title. Show me that car is paid off. I think differently. I'm just different with my money. I'm an old soul and I'm more traditional. But let's continue with this and let's wrap this up. Go to the next subject. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the only thing I was going to say is just that I really, truly, honestly believe that my dad is probably the smartest man that I've ever talked to. Whenever I was one, he started his own vending company. We had almost a 200-acre farm. He was president of a bank and also president of the Lions Club and an adjunct professor teaching economics and animal science at our local community college. But he taught me from a very young age, and I wish that you hear it so much growing up that it almost just becomes like you don't hear it anymore.
Mm.
But whenever he told me when I was younger, he was like, whatever you do, buy land. They're never
Man,
making any more of it.
I wish I would have
Buy.
listened. Yeah.
hmm He was like, buy land. He was like, and keep it. He was like, they are never making any more of it. And he said, all it can do is increase in price
Yup.
and always cash on the barrel. My dad has, I don't think that he's really ever had a car payment my entire life. I mean, if he did, it was very, very small. The nicest house we lived in, which it was in the nicest neighborhood whenever we had kind of moved to the city. from the farm, but they had put
Yeah.
such a huge down payment down that their payments were like $300 a month for their mortgage. I mean, it was ridiculous. And so he's always been cash on the barrel and trying to break those generational curses, just like I'm doing with my son, and we should each do with,
Amen.
our future generations.
And I ain't gonna
Yep.
lie, I like living in the South Side. I think in the South Side, where in my neighborhood, it's like one of the most safest places in the city. There's a lot of places just because you live in I'm not gonna say I live in the ghetto. It's not even really the ghetto, but people kind of do avoid it, I guess. Man, this
Hmm.
freaking thing's pissing me off back here. I'm all messed up, y'all. But I like living in the South Side. My parents live right down the road. I'm happy here, But anyways, that's just how it is, y'all. We just hope everybody does better. And like I said, you want to elevate in life. You don't want your kids to be a thug. You ain't gonna lie. I was
No.
in the street. I mean, it's not a secret. I've been in the street, at an early age till about 20. I got my head out my rear end, about 22, 23. And then about 29, became a Christian. So, I want my kids to do better than me. And I'm great. I ain't gonna lie, sis. I'm actually really grateful that my kids are better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't see the things that I saw or live the way I lived. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say too much, right? And I don't think no man should cry for nobody. But I dropped a little Southside tear the other day when I was riding down the road. I forgot I was in my 18-wheeler. And I was like, man, I was 16, 17 doing things that I should have no business doing, sis. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, not to sit there saying I'm the victim, because I wanted to live a certain way. I was an idiot, but I just like, damn, I was 16, doing things that no 16-year-old should do. I was like, damn, what was it? And my wife said, well, your grandparents, they really couldn't control you at that age. You're already, they already had their kids, and they raised you, and they really couldn't put their foot down with you, and you wanted to act a fool. But I'm just saying, like, no kid at 16, 17 should be doing at least I know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But I thank God that at least my kids, they didn't live like that. And they never saw nothing like that. And we should want better for our kids. Anyways, let's move on, y'all. This post, I want to show these men wearing skirts. Is it the new trend? I don't know. This is crazy. But let's continue. Thank you for everybody watching now and on the repeat. Let's continue. What's the next one? Here's my boy Craig Long. Shout out my buddy Craig Long. That's the homie. White Lives Matter. Nino is the official president of the White Lives Matter crew. People don't even know this. I'll be trolling them boys, but there's Beyonce with blonde hair. I'm gonna be honest, right? They always talk about cultural appropriation or whatever they say, right? But how come you always see women, her, even Hispanics, whatever? Why do they always put their hair blonde? Why do they always wear blue contacts and green contacts? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't like me. You know why I thought this? I said, you know why? Because I'm not going to give excuses to my so-called people anymore, or at all. Or I never did. The minorities, so-called. Like, I'm going to call them out on their bullcrap and their hypocrisy. And I've been doing it for a long time. That's why they don't like me, because I'm not a puppet like them. I'm not going to sit here and bow down to Mexico or any other freaking country. I'm down with the USA, and that's all there is to it. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. And I've seen a lot, and we all see it, people that dye their hair blonde. I mean, Beyonce's one of them, y'all. Everybody keeps saying about her. Like, is she trying to, appropriate this culture? I mean, this is weird seeing her. Blonde hair, she looks like Michael Jackson over here. A lot of MAGA are not big fans of Beyonce, and she's like a big cowboy or country music icon at this point. Your thoughts on her before I move on? Go ahead.
Well, so it's not really about her, but it is about the cultural appropriation that you were
Am I
talking
right?
about.
Am I right?
You are right. You're absolutely right, because I can tell you that have a white girl wear her hair in cornrows, and the hate that she will receive. There's a white girl that I was following on, I believe it was on YouTube. No, it wasn't YouTube. Maybe it's fake. I don't know where it was at. Instagram, maybe. But anyway, she has a hair salon, and she is like, all I can tell you is she is badass when it comes to braiding hair. And she has 99% of all of her clientele are Black. And the people that jump in her comments and say that she should be ashamed of herself for braiding hair, that this isn't her ethnicity, da 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 da. I have never seen so much hate in my life, and she kept it pushing and making the dollars. But I just don't. Yeah, but it's okay, for Beyonce to move over to country music. But you have, I just don't understand. White Lives Matter is all I can say.
Hey, let's go. All right, let's continue. So the next thing we're going to touch on is, let's get over here. What do I have over here? Oh, it's okay to be white. I'll be pissing them off. Hey, this video right here got 124,000 views, sis. This one right here.
Yep.
Talking about people getting deported. Don't break the law. Don't commit crime. And if you do, pay the consequences, right? If you commit a crime, pay the consequences, move about your life, move on, and do better. But don't come to my country illegally and thinking you're going to get a free pass from me for being here illegally, and they don't work like that. Anyways, right here, the seventh
You,
suspect has been arrested in connection with the violent attack in Cincinnati. Another
mm,
looks like a welfare recipient. Your thoughts, go ahead.
just watching that video, like
Horrible, sis. I ain't gonna
all
lie.
I can tell you is it sent
I
me,
thought, Chris. I thought that was in another city or time, but it wasn't Cincinnati. It's crazy.
and it sent me into a rage. Is all I can tell you. Like to see a man punch a woman like that was just when I tell you, like, it was absolutely disgusting. It's the whole like mob mentality. I have never ever been raised to ever treat another human like that, and I just don't understand. There were so many people, and seeing the violence that was just like all videotaped and people laughing. I do want to say that the ones that were trying to help them, that were standing there and trying to get them up out of the streets and stuff like that, I think that that's pretty freaking awesome. But you should have been stopping your cohorts from doing so.
Yeah, it's horrible, y'all. And the lady was beat down bad. And I'm gonna be honest. I said it before. Watch your surroundings. Don't trust these people. I don't care what anybody says. Don't trust them. I wish I could say more on here, but I'm on these certain platforms. I can't say things.
Yeah.
Don't trust them for real. Use your judgment. We are the judge. I don't care what anybody says. The Bible's clear. When you make a judgment, make a righteous judgment, and move accordingly.
Upper
And
rebuke.
I'm
Yep.
gonna be honest. I seen another video. Somebody sent me one here at the bar in Midland. They sent me all the videos. Sis, there's some blacks getting into it with some bikers at a bar right here in my neighborhood, and they got the best of them. It was bad. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. What's wrong with
Who
certain
got the
people?
best? Who got the best of who?
The
Box got
bikers
the
got
best
beat.
of.
The bikers gloves they got beat down, sis, by a bunch
Oh
of
shit! Are you serious?
yeah. They. I'm not gonna talk down on bikers, but they even have biker gang patches and all this. I'm like, yeah, look at these guys, and I think there's some of the ones that were kind of talking crap to me a while back, but
Yeah.
they got beat down. It's kind of crazy, but the point is just watch your guard, everybody, watch your back, and don't get caught in certain situations around certain kind of people, thugs, low lives, because I'm telling you right now, they want to beat you down. I'm telling you,
Well,
this how it works. Go ahead.
and I was going to say that you have so many different angles of everybody trying to bring emotional responses into things,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically about whatever you were just talking about, um, the deportations and all of that, and you watch all these videos all day that talk about the poor kids that are going to have to whatever. No, their parents should have never put them in that position. If you love your kids, then you do things the right way where you possibly couldn't get separated from them. You teach them the right ways, you teach them the legal ways, and all of that. So everything from like the color of people to illegal immigrants to everything, everybody is just like trying to give emotional gut punches lately, and it just doesn't work for me. Like I don't know if I don't have feelings anymore or what it is, but I think about things logically. You should have never put your kids in that position to get separated at the border or to
Amen.
have them sent back. So
Okay.
yeah.
Another one just popped up right here, y'all. Tucker Carlson. I kid you not. If you are a Trumper, a conservative, free thinker, Tucker Carlson has been. I think this. I'm like the. I would say the hood. Maybe the lower.
Yeah.
How can I say it? I'm somewhat like a Tucker Carlson to be honest. But Tucker Carlson, y'all, he has an awesome YouTube channel.
Yep.
His.
I love it.
Whenever I see any of his interviews or videos, I will go watch them. This one right here is crazy. Now this is a Christian, a nun that's in Palestine, Israel area, and she talks about the situation. Now, I don't want to say too much because we know people are powerful, but if you get a chance, watch this and you will learn a lot because I've seen the Jays, the people in the
Hmm.
I don't even want to say their country, they spit on
Hmm.
They spit on Christians, y'all. Okay? They reject Christ. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what anybody says. I've said this a long time ago. I don't stand with any, and I'm taking it for what it's worth. I don't stand with any other country except the United States of America. I don't stand with Christ rejectors. I stand with Christians worldwide, and I only stand with America. Catch my drift? But this is a very interesting video. I want to listen to the rest while I'm at work tomorrow, but she talks about living in Palestine / the Israel area and how hard it is to be a Christian. And you would think maybe in Palestine it's harder, but it's kind of harder in the other place. You catch my drift, sis?
Yep. I do.
So if y'all get a chance, leave your emotions at the door. You know what? Finally, we got to talk about this right here. How people treat Christians, y'all. If you watch this woman is in that area, and it might surprise you when you sit there and you give your money to Israel and you love them and support them. When Most people over there reject Christ, and I'm a Christian. So go ahead, sis. Final words on that. I want to move on before I get in trouble over
Yep.
here.
The only thing that I want to say is if people have questions about all that, literally the best person you can listen to
Mm-hmm.
is Pastor Mejia. He breaks everything down so well, and it's all biblical and it's right in your face. And I agree with you 100% and don't want to get into it anymore either.
Amen. Hey, thank you, John. John Jacome says just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you, John. God bless you. I think I seen Homeboy put some good comments in there. Thank you. I appreciate it. I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting a bunch of
Yep.
blowback, y'all. I went viral on TikTok. I've seen a lot of they trying to dox me and putting fake videos and all fake info. I'm like, man, people are freaking crazy. But you know why?
Mhm.
Just for my opinion. But it's okay because, to be honest, I mean, I've been making content for a long time. If there was anything on me, it will be exposed a long time ago. But the bad thing is when they try to dox you or try to get your address, and then I even seen somebody comment on my cousin's post about his baby. I don't
Wow.
want to say too much on here, sis, but it was a post on IG about he had a picture of his baby. He's with his girl, and they went on there saying, "Oh, sorry that Nino America's your cousin, but this, that, and the third." Wrote a whole big old paragraph on me, and I'm like, "What the hell?" You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this dude wrote this big old paragraph about me on a picture of a baby that with somebody. My cousin don't got nothing to even do with me. You like that? You know, like what the hell? That's how
Yeah.
sick they are, sis. They're freaking sickos. I ain't gonna lie. These people are freaking sick. But that's how it operates, and I ain't afraid. I ain't worried about it. But
No.
it's very disturbing to see how people act on the internet, y'all. They are sickos for real. But I appreciate
They
John for
seriously
subscribing.
are.
Okay, let's continue. So this is pretty interesting, right? Illegal alien Victor Martinez Hernandez. Remember I said this: 2 last names or more. Usually they're an illegal when you see their name in a headline like this, right? Illegal
You
alien
said
Victor.
that a million times.
Yep, and it's always true. I've been 99% right. I got a good wet dar. Illegal alien Victor Martinez Hernandez sentenced to life without parole for the unaliving Maryland mother Rachel Morin. I don't know if you have any info on her, sis, if you can pull it up, but she's a blonde-headed white woman here, and here he is a thug, illegal, and it kind of sucks. I agree with a lot of people that posted on here. They said that why do we got to pay for him to be fed this whole time? You know, he should be eye for an eye. Right, Christy?
I agree.
That's how I look at it. I got to be careful with my words here, but he took her life, and now we got to feed this dude till he.
She was a mother
Go ahead.
of. She was a mother of 5, and yeah, I mean, it's just really sad. She was R word and unalived in Maryland, like you said.
Wow.
Mother of 5, and just, I hear all of these people talking, and it takes me back to whenever all the left stayed seated, whenever Lake and Riley and Jocelyn and DJ, and of course now Rachel, all of these people that have been done so wrong by illegal immigrants have come into the country, and people still stand for that, and they
It's
truly
sad.
do. Yeah, and so many of your things are so true about, would you leave your door unlocked, and da 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 da. We've talked about it a million times, but people really support those people being over here,
It says
and it's just
I got a lot of clips. They went viral even on TikTok, and I post some here. I got a lot more left, but I'm so busy I ain't been able to post them. But the point is, I'm gonna keep talking about it. You know why? Because if this dude right here in the yellow wasn't here, this woman would still be alive. And they always say,
yeah,
well, America got a lot of criminals. I know we do. Okay, we got enough scumbags of our own we got to deal with. We don't want to deal with the extras over here, right?
exactly.
And then
Well, and the thing
I
is, we
reported.
don't even know who's here.
But not just that. Remember, sis, I reported on that kid. Remember, I reported on that kid that
Yep,
they got ran over right here in the South Side in my
yep,
neighborhood. A little black boy got ran over by someone that was deported 5 freaking times. You know
yep.
what? I wonder if his mom. I ain't trying to bring her into it, but I'm just saying. I wonder if his mom would appreciate someone like me raising the alarm about someone like that dude, right? You think if God forbid this happens to one of your family members, how you would think differently? You probably these Trump haters, they probably still would defend these people, not me. You're
Yep.
here illegally. You are here on my land illegally. You need to go. Come in the correct way. I'm not gonna go to Mexico or any other country and just walk in and just act like I'm a resident there and get mad when you try to deport me. They deported people from Mexico. I think it's 80,000 a year. They deported 2 people I know. One guy called in. I got the interview coming, and then my buddy in Northern Cali. They deported him back to the to the U.S. Yes, Mexico will deport you back to the U.S., y'all. So don't get mad whenever we do the same thing to them. It's just how it works. But again, this woman was unalived by this monster, and he got
Nino.
life for unaliving her. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this was, of course, just reported today, and it was kind of what you just said. But just to recap, she was 37 years old. She was a mother of five. She was jogging along the Ma and Paw Trail in Bel
Mm-hmm.
Air, a quiet community northeast of Baltimore, whenever he ambushed and um, hurt her to the point of unalivement. Um, my thing is I do think that we need reform. I think people
Mm-hmm.
sitting on that green mile for 37 years needs to not happen. I think that anybody that is over here and does this, it is absolutely a terrorist act. I think that, like you said, eye for an eye. And yeah, I mean, the mother's satisfied that he got life in prison, but it's us paying for him to sit there that long.
I thought Trump was talking about that. If you come here
I don't
illegally,
know.
I forgot what he talked about a while back. That if you come here illegally, that and you commit such act, that you're gonna get taken out. But I might be wrong. But I thought I remember him saying that. Anyways, let's continue. On the scroll, y'all were just kicking back. I got another video. This woman right here came on the live on TikTok and was talking about her defense of illegals. She's in Odessa. Very telling interview. If you get a chance, check it out on my Facebook and my YouTube channel, y'all. It's I called it Respect My Country. Got a couple thousand views. It's on Facebook and YouTube. Now, this is pretty crazy. Tropical storm Aaron from forms in the Atlantic, expected to gain strength in the coming days. Me and my wife are working on the yard, sis. And what do you know? We walk outside and you can smell it. It feels cool. And in West Texas, that ain't normal, right? And it started raining later. We couldn't work on a certain project we had here at the house, and we had to cut it short. And this is basically what's happening, I guess, from this storm Aaron. And I'll post some kind of stuff about the weather on my channel, because I mean, weather does affect us. I don't know how it is where you're at, sis, but in West Texas we got a little bit of
Well,
clouds, a little bit of rain,
Florida.
and yeah. And then we watched Twister. Twister was on today. Me and my wife laid on the couch. It's my last day off, and pretty good little movie. I didn't like about Twister, sis, is how that dude's married. Well, I guess it's good. I don't know if he got back with his wife at the end, but I didn't like.
I love that movie. I know it word for word. I've watched it 100 times. I'm not kidding.
Amen. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. But what I didn't like about that movie, sis, is just well, I guess it's a good story, I guess, but how he went there and they're like divorced and trying to sign the papers. But I guess that's in the end it worked out. But that was just kind of nitpick.
It did.
I watched Weapons. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, sis. That was pretty crazy. I'll talk about that in a minute. You've seen that preview for Weapons?
No, I haven't. No.
That's a crazy one. My family went and watched it, and I'll touch on that here in a minute when I get the chance. Let's continue over here. Cody says tons of wildfire smoke here in western Colorado. Shout out Colorado. Colorado's beautiful. Too bad it's a blue. Too bad it's a blue state. Now this is crazy right here. Now check this one out. Somebody had told me about this a while back, y'all, and it finally came to light what happened. But Mexican authorities arrested 21-year-old Oscar Manuel M.A. in connection with the Ciudad Juarez ransom kidnapping that left 17-year-old Dana Leguano of Hobbs, man, Hobbs is right by me, sis, New Mexico, unalived. Dana left her New Mexico home for Mexico in mid-July. Days later, her family received messages demanding ransom money in exchange for her life. Her body was discovered by officials shortly after. So this little thug right here, sis, was in Juarez with this girl, and she turned out unalived, and they wanted money for her. That's what I'm saying. Keep these fools over here for real. Keep them far from my house. I don't want these dudes over here for nothing. This is what they believe in. And it's just a lot of them practice witchcraft. I think we don't talk about it enough, sis. But a lot of these people from Mexico and these other third world countries, they practice hoodoo voodoo, sis. It's prevalent with amongst them. They pray to these saints and these witchcraft religions, and they do this stuff. I had a video. Remember I did the video, sis, where that guy was in South Texas and he had like a stash house and they had the Santa Muerte and all these statues. Sis, I know some people that do it. I know some people in Midland, some low lives, some family members of mine that do it in Midland, Texas. They're freaking low lives go to a damn witch. It's disgusting, sis. But anyways, but this dude, him and his probably a gang, did this to this young girl, and she's no longer here. Pretty sad. It's a messed up deal. No mercy.
Nope, no mercy. None.
Let's continue. I want to cover this real quick. AOL set to shut down its dial-up internet after 34 years on September 30th.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know that they still had dial-up, everybody.
I didn't either.
I remember hearing, I'm going to a house, and I remember hearing the dial-up turn on, and back then I was a kid, you couldn't get on the internet, right? I mean, at least I couldn't. It was a grown up thing, right? You couldn't just get on somebody's
Yep.
internet, and they shutting up the dial up, y'all. So I don't know about you, sis, but we have fiber optic over here in Midland, and it's pretty
And
fast. It's pretty fast.
in Tennessee, I have got fiber optic, and I am telling you, it is lightning fast. My son, who loves the game, tried it out
Mm-hmm.
whenever he came, and he was like, "Mom," he was like, "Oh my goodness," he was like, "This is so different than what we have in Florida." And you think that Florida would get it before some rural place in Tennessee, but no, it's fast. It's super fast. I love the fiber.
Yeah, I got fiber. Boy, I gotta have fiber optic fiber, especially if I stream in 4K. And then my son's a gamer,
Yep.
and then really all of our electronics are plugged into the internet. With the
Hmm.
Wi-Fi, so you have to have a good internet. And I got fiber optic, but yeah, AOL shutting down the dial-up. People were commenting saying I didn't even know they use dial-up anymore, but it's gonna be gone, y'all. So that's quick little info. And thank you everybody jumping on here. We just a quick little live just to get this out the way. We want to get on here and holler at our people. I got a couple more, and then we'll touch on. I want to talk about that movie. This dude right here, UFC has agreed to 7-year deal, 7.7 billion exclusive media rights agreed with Paramount, effectively ending the pay-per-view model. This is Dana White smoking a big old stogie, man. Salute the dude, man. I can't hate on the white man. I can't hate on the entrepreneur. 7.7 billion. So it's gonna be on Paramount. But you know what's crazy?
I love Paramount. Yep,
But
I
you-
love it.
but you know what's crazy, sis? I told my wife, how much do we pay on cable? Because I ain't gonna lie, somebody offered me a deal on a little box for something. I told them I'll leave it at that. But my wife said we pay 120 a month on
Yep,
cable, sis.
yep.
And then I told my wife, I said, it's a sham. I said, because we got Hulu, Paramount, whatever it's called, Netflix. We got all these streaming services,
I do
y'all.
too.
In the
Yeah,
end, we got screwed because
yeah.
everybody started doing. Because I looked up a post about the NFL Network. Basically, if you want to watch all the NFL games, you got to pay 20 here, 10 here, 8 here, 18 here.
Yep.
You got to pay like 140, 200 and something a year, or was it a month? I forgot what it was to watch
No,
any
it's like
NFL
it's a
games.
year. It's super, like if you get everything that NFL, you know how I am with football. I love
Yeah.
it. If you get everything that the NFL channel has to offer, it's 400. It's over $400 a year. But the thing that I hated whenever I finally gave up my cable was and just kept, like my Roku streaming or whatever, is I hated that whenever you wanted to watch something live that you couldn't find it, but now you can. Like, Roku has all those streaming channels that have
Mm-hmm.
like local news, national news, all of those things that are in real time, and there's just no sense in paying for cable anymore. It's just too daggone expensive.
And then, excuse me, I saw on DirecTV it had like a little ad saying save $12 and ditch local. I'm like, what the hell? Like, in order to
Yeah.
save some money, they say they're promoting for you to cut off your channels. But anyways, like I said, there's Dana White. Y'all got a big old deal with Paramount, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to say it, but
Paramount, yeah.
all the UFC's going that way. The dude's smart. He loves Trump. Trump backed him up, and there he is making billion-dollar moves. Salute him. And I think the streaming we got screwed. It's a messed up deal with streaming, y'all. When you got to pay so much, and I mean, add that with your bills. Your
Yeah.
phone. My phone bill says $300-$400. You got a couple phones. It all adds up in end of the month. Let's continue, y'all. Thank you everybody watching on the late night live. Y'all just here kicking back. Let's see here. What do I got before? I just want to do a couple more here. Oh, this is crazy. I'm not gonna play it right now. Plus, it has audio with music. I couldn't put it on my main page. I had to put it on my personal page and then share it here. But this dude, right? He's walking through this new build, and sis, he's pointing out the Modelo cans, all the
Oh, I
anchor,
saw
the
that.
anchor bolts, sis. And I thought about it, and I even said an anchor bolt. I think it's pretty important, right? That the word anchor bolt or anchor is a pretty important word. But once I saw what it is, it's the frame of the house, the wood. They anchor it down with these big old, long bolts, and they're supposed to be 6 to 7 inches deep, and they're doing like 4
Yep.
inches.
Some of them weren't even, yeah, some of them weren't
Yeah,
even for. My dad, I sent him that video because
yeah.
one of the things that he also did is he built houses on the side with another contractor. And he was like, what in the world? And he was like, how is that even allowed? But if we ever want to get into a story about what some non-speaking,
Man,
non-American, non-speaking people did to my sister's home whenever after the hurricane, everybody would be absolutely mortified, just
sis,
absolutely mortified.
sis, at Vander Ranch. I went to Vander
Hmm.
Ranch, and
Yep.
they're telling me in a certain area that they were just stuffing stuff, bolts, trash down drains.
Yep. I saw that video too.
Sis, and they said we don't know why they did this. I know why. I know why
Hmm.
they do this, y'all. They don't like America. These
Yep.
illegals, they come here. Somebody made a comment on my post, said I call them the 75 percenters. They do things about 75% good. You might think they're doing a good job. They're not really doing a good job. They're just cheap,
I don't
y'all.
even know if it's
Yeah,
75%.
I would.
Yeah.
That's giving them too much credit. And then somebody made
Yeah.
another comment, said, really, it's just actually more cheaper to pay them and then come back and fix their screw ups. I'm like, man. And my wife, I ain't gonna lie, my wife said, well, you do know that hiring American workers, it does cost more money. You know, you get quotes for concrete work or fence work. You call these big companies, legal companies, they're going to charge you 40 to 30% more than uh, uh, a Pablo or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
um, that's just the deal with this guy. This guy got his account taken out. This white dude. He followed me back on TikTok. I actually want to interview him, sis. But I think he's just a homeowner that got screwed. From what I heard,
Yep.
he got screwed with the build that he bought in his neighborhood, and he just goes around. He learned what the codes are. I mean, the code is a code, just like the law, right? And he goes
Yep.
around and to these new builds and points out problems. I mean, sis, look at this house. You know, I just think
I
about it.
know.
I just think about it. Are these new houses even worth, all this money for these new builds that ain't even, built properly? And then he's like 41 cans of beer all over the place. And you know damn well if you're drinking beer, after a couple beers, a certain amount, you're gonna be buzzed. You're not gonna do a good job. So, anyways, I just wanted to highlight this video. I did a reaction to it. I put it on my page, and I even put it on my TikTok. And this dude's out there. He got like 350,000, 400,000 views on TikTok of him showing, the trash build. Just because they're cheapest don't mean they're the best. Final words on that. Go ahead.
My sister just has pictures of Modelo and Corona bottles and cans all over the master bedroom because they were doing work. All of the water had to be shut off to the house. One of them had gone into the bathroom and literally gone number two, and it was to the very top. They took
Oh,
all of her furniture and put it out on the back patio where the pool is. And anybody that knows anything about Florida knows the humidity. It will rain wood in a heartbeat if it's not treated for that. Rained all of her furniture. Like the stuff was just, it was absolutely crazy.
yeah, it's horrible, y'all. It's just trash. But TikTok's pretty crazy. I got a lot of videos I'm gonna react to on TikTok. Anyway, shout out my boy Raymond Otra in the building, man. That's the homie right there. Big old comedian extraordinaire. One day we're gonna do a
Yep.
video, me and the homie right there. I'm glad he's in here. He's a fellow Christian out there in South Texas, man. Shout out my homeboy, good friend Raymond. I'm gonna show real quick, y'all, TikTok. This is my second product, sis. I got one of those phone holders. I don't know if you can see it, but
I need it.
this is a second sample. What up, Charlie? This is the second sample I've been sent. The first one, I sold him a product. The first sample was a headlight. And if you don't know, y'all, I'll just say it right now, and we'll go ahead and hey, David Luna's in here. Where's David at? I don't see
Yep.
him. Shout out the brother
Yep.
right there. That's the brother. I'm gonna go ahead and close that off. Y'all, we'll finish with our little monologue here. But this is what I learned, y'all, about TikTok. Okay, I do very well over there. I got a pretty decent page. I think it's okay. Good 1,000 views every video. It's pretty good. But I never knew about TikTok Shop Affiliate. They've been sending me messages for years, like probably like 2 years already, with
Mhm.
different products that you basically make a little video infomercial, and then you sell their product and they give you a commission. This is the second one they sent me on my second paid product, second my second free sample basically. So
That one
there's
that you have right there, I actually got off of TikTok and bought it for Whitney, and it worked. It works very, very well.
yeah. So you
Does
put
it
it.
have the automatic suction thing on it?
No, it's not automatic. You just do it manually.
Oh, that's what I meant. I mean, you
What?
push the
Well,
button over the suction.
yeah. Well, I know there's one that you can press a button like has batteries, but I'd rather have something manual anyways. But this is pretty badass
Yeah.
because, anyways, the point is I got like 2 or 3 days, 7 days I think to make a video. The last one I made a video with the light got 10,000 views, and I sold some product for them, and I got commission. So this is the second thing, y'all, and I'm just happy because the Bible says if you're grateful, if you're responsible with a little bit, God will bless you with a lot more, right? So I'm just
Absolutely.
grateful. My second sample for free, right? This one in my headlamp. They send it to me, and I got to do a video to help promote their product. It's a good deal. If you're on TikTok, really chasing views, that ain't where it's at. No, where it's at is getting involved with these companies and help pushing their products,
Yep.
good products, right? I can use this. I'm going to use this. So, and then my other buddy that showed me the game I paid for a course, he said he made $250,000 in 1 month. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he even said too that what he does is he gets free samples, even if he don't use it or his wife uses it,
Yep.
he'll put it on Facebook Marketplaces and make money on Facebook Marketplace. So it's pretty
Yep.
cool, you know?
There's a girl on TikTok, and to be 100% honest, I was not a fan at first of watching her. I thought she came across like really crass, and
Yeah.
I really didn't like her tone and all that. But so for some reason I just started watching a few of her videos, and she has been doing this for a long time on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard her story. Her mother treated her terribly growing up. She had to leave the home at a very young age. She was pretty much homeless until the age of 18. She joined the army, and became a soldier. And whenever she got out, she has 2 children, and she got really involved in TikTok. She's a white lady that dances and just loves life and is raising her 2 kids. But she has been a TikTok shop of person like you are for quite a while now. They sent her a home gym to
What?
yes, they sent her a home
Yo.
gym to do reviews on and stuff like that. And she tells everybody that she keeps reviews 100. She was like, if the product's not good, I'm going to tell you the product's not good. They just sent her like a $200 necklace to advertise and all that, and she just really is making it. She was like, TikTok has changed my life as far as like selling these products. She said, but I'm always going to, just keep everything real if it's a good product or not. And she has so many offers coming in. She was like, she can't keep up. So I think that that's a
Mm-hmm.
really good move for you, Nino.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I got like 100, 200 freaking offers in my inbox, and I never even thought about it, sis. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, these fools hate me. Hold on, real quick. I said these fools hate me, and then I might get 100,000, 200,000 views, even 1 million views. It don't pay really that good. I'm grateful, I guess, but I was like, I'd rather spend my time doing a TikTok shop video, for a free product. They send me a sample. Then over here, these fools are trying to dox me and put pictures of my house. Like, this is crazy. At this point, I'm like, damn, is this even worth it? People are trying to put pictures of my house and my wife's information and my parents. I'm like, damn. Like, y'all hate me that much for my opinion, my videos, that you want to put my freaking family's information. I'm like, man, screw that crap. I'll just do TikTok
Yep.
shop or something. But I ain't gonna give up. I'm just saying, like, that's how these people are, y'all. They play dirty like that. I don't give a flip about nobody. I don't sit there and I don't care about what videos people make. I ain't gonna lie. I got a player hater. I got a lot of information on him right now. But you know what? I don't really don't care. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
I'm not really a I'm not gonna say I'm not really. I'm not a gossip. I don't sit here and make content about other people and expose them and go through their whole background and their family ties and where they come from. I ain't got time for that crap. But some people are like that, y'all, and it's crazy. I'm
Yep.
telling you, I blew up on TikTok, and man, they're trying to do all kinds of lies, rumors, and fake paperwork and all kinds of weird. I'm like, what the hell's up with these people? And then they go, my family and my kids. I'm like, man, what the hell? And they allow it, y'all. It's crazy. But anyways, I mean, we ain't tripping. We're used to, being in the limelight at this point. But the thing I wanted to talk about was the TikTok shop affiliate. I'd rather do these kind of videos in. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be doing the commercials at this point. But anyways, I want to touch on that. I want to touch on the movie Weapons, sis. Have you heard about it? Can you look it up real
Okay,
quick? Go
but
ahead.
just before you do that real quick, I just want to respond to Melinda.
Yeah.
Melinda, I was the exact same way that you are,
Oh yeah.
that I've refused for a long time to get a TikTok account. Luckily, now that I've been on there
Oh, I
a
love
while,
TikTok.
well, and now that I've been on there a while, it's not showing me such degenerate like
Mm-hmm.
videos that I used to see, because I search a lot of stuff about the military. Like my
You
first
train
things are
you train the algorithm.
absolutely.
Yup.
And so I don't see a bunch of that degenerate stuff on there anymore. And I do like the platform as far as being able to push content and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So I've changed my mind a little bit on TikTok. For a while I was getting on there, going, oh, I'm here, but hating it. But I do like it now because I don't see the same stuff that I used to see.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When I try to Google or YouTube a video, I go to TikTok.
Yeah.
Basically, TikTok has replaced Google for me because there's a lot of videos on there that, I mean, it's not all. degenerate. My feed's a good feed, you know,
Mine is now.
and Christian patriots go viral all the time. I mean, I hit 100,000 views over there on my videos, and I'm pushing Christ, and I'm pushing conservatism. I'm even pushing Trump. So I like it on TikTok. It gives you good reach. But the problem is, you go viral over there, and there's a lot of people that don't like Trump. Boy,
Hmm.
they will come after you, you know, and that's just how it is. But
You got to be thick skinned on that for real.
I like TikTok. Anyways, the last thing I want to touch on, y'all, is we went and watched what I say? Weapons or weapon or
Weapons.
whatever it's called. Anyways, this movie right here, I'm not gonna ruin it. All right, no spoilers. Um, I'll say this: it's a movie for the season, for the Halloween season, right? People are saying it's a psychological thriller. No, it's not. But it was a tripped out movie. I will say this: I'm not gonna ruin it, like I said, but you will be on the edge of your seat the whole movie. It's great storytelling. You know me, sis. I'm a content creator. I might hopefully make a movie one day, but I like angles. I like color schemes. I like a good,
Yeah.
well put together movie, and it was well put together. Now I ain't gonna lie. I didn't like it as much as my family did, but maybe because a little twist in the end or whatever. I'll leave it at that. But the whole movie, you're involved, you're engaged. I didn't fall asleep, and we watched it. It wasn't too bad. There's a couple bad scenes in there, I think, that you got to watch out for, but nothing too crazy. But it tells a good story, and I don't want to ruin it. But we did go watch it, and it's a good movie to watch in the theaters. It was packed. It was good to go see the theaters packed like that. And I've seen a lot of reviews or reactions to it on TikTok, especially. And I just thought it was a decent movie. You might like it better, but from what I saw, without saying too much, it was pretty good. It was shot pretty good, and it was well worth the money. I'll say that, sis. I don't know if you watched it or anything. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't
I
gonna lie though.
haven't.
There's one called The Conjuring. I ain't watching that crap. Okay, that stuff right there.
They've got an old one out of The Conjuring too. This
I've
must
never
be a
watched none of
remake,
them.
and I don't want to watch any of that.
I've never watched none of them, sis. I don't like to, you
Nope.
know, I don't like to, push none of that or open
Mm-mm.
up my family to that or anything. And I'm not gonna sit there and say we don't watch scary movies. Sometimes we do, but stuff like that with the real demonic or paranormal, I ain't rocking with it.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to say too much, right? But
I miss the old school Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy and Jason and Michael and like those that not whenever you start talking about like all these exorcisms and all that stuff and people open up portals. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not taking a chance.
I don't know. I'm gonna say something right here, but I heard some stuff here recently. Just you got to watch out what you open up yourself to, y'all. I'm
Hmm.
not always going to say, and I'll leave it at this. I'm a Christian. I'm not always going to blame the devil. Like a lot of people just blame the devil all the time when it's just you or me, right? Us, our flesh. But the point is, I've heard some really crazy things, and I'll say that be careful what doors you open, y'all, because
Yep.
it's real.
Yep. No, it is definitely.
And I don't want to just sit there and just go all supernatural. Some things probably can't be explained by people being mentally ill. I don't know. Who knows, right? But I don't want to say too much, but I've heard something as of late, and you just got to be careful with the stuff that you entertain, especially when it's like with the supernatural stuff, y'all, because you can't open up portals. How do I say it? You can open
And,
up doors that you don't want to open up, y'all. For real, be
well,
very
no,
careful.
Nino. So there are lots of psychiatrists. I'm a social
Yeah.
worker, and there's a lot of psychiatrists and things like that that are really pushing micro dosing of psychedelics,
Whoa, I heard about
and
that.
that it's helping people greatly with depression, and that it kind of rewires like and makes the neurons fire in the part of the brain that tells you if you're happy or sad or whatever. But I am not a believer. I am not a fan of that. I don't think that. I know people personally that before it ever came out more as like a medication type thing,
Yeah.
and it looks like a gummy, and you place it between your gum and your cheek. And I know people that personally did it, but they did microdosing, and you could, at the same time that it could help people, there are a lot of people that it's sent into like schizophrenia events that they never come back from and all of that. So like
Mm,
you said, you just got to be really careful with like who you trust, what you're doing. They've got a new thing out for depression that is like a magnetic
yeah.
therapy, that they put a huge magnet, and it's kind of like a newer version of the electroconvulsive therapy that they used to do on people, where they would make them like go into convulsive seizures and try to treat depression and things like that at like mental hospitals and state hospitals. But then they've got this big magnet thing, and it's caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. And while there have been success rates on people with depression, I would say it's 50-50 on that it has sent people the complete opposite direction and
Mm.
stuff also. So you just got to be careful with those things that you open yourself up to. I completely agree.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about the old school little things people do.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't even really like even touching on it, and I gotta be careful. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta be careful with what I'm saying because this is kind of near to my circle, and I ain't trying to make light of it or make content about it. But like I said, when I heard what I heard, I was like, what the hell, you know? And one day I will talk about it, probably when it's more away from this time period. But I mean, there's people start talking about the demonic and being possessed and all. You know what I'm saying? Like that's already like I don't know. I don't even want to really say nothing more. I'll leave it at that. But I'm just saying, just be careful, y'all messing with stuff because you just don't know what's gonna pop up, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just don't. And, I've got my story that I've told before about being a very young kid. I think I was 8 years old. And that's when Ouija boards became really popular. And my mother absolutely forbade me to get one. So my friend and I made a fake one. And I'll go into that whole story a different time.
Yeah.
But absolutely, you can open yourself up to portals and things like that. And nobody can tell me different. I mean, yeah.
And I'll say this because I've had family members. I have people close to me that have messed with certain substances. I'll leave it at that. The M word, right? Not the Jane, the other one. Um,
Hmm.
And I remember I told this dude one time that they had done it, and he told me he was recovering. This is back in the day whenever it was still new to my city, and he said
Right.
because this other guy when I first heard about that word MET, the rest. I did a video about it on my
Uh-huh.
YouTube channel, sis. But this one dude, the first dude I ever heard about doing it, they were saying, man, this guy's in the backyard in his trailer, uh, digging in his foot.
Hmm.
So my family was kind of laughing about it. My mom and my brothers or whoever, right? My the little trailer park. They're like, man, the guy's in the back. He's like cutting in his foot. He said there's a worm in his foot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell, a worm? And they're like, yeah, he's on that ish, whatever, right? And
Hmm.
but they said that he would dig in his foot and he was trying to find a worm in his foot.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and, and the
They.
sad thing is, his daddy. That's why I do like Trump and I salute Trump because Trump was able to be left a business from his father, right? He carried the legacy. So did his kids. And I respect people like that because there's some people, I know one, his dad don't even trust him around the shop. You know what I'm saying? He can't even, they own a big electrical company or electrician company, and the dude can't even trust his son because he's on that, you know what. But anyways, the dude digging it to his foot, sis, and he kept saying he had a worm in his foot. And I never heard about this stuff in my life. It was still like new out
Oh
here.
yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
sis, it done took over certain parts of Midland, Odessa, right?
Yeah.
And they be out there cleaning their cars, early in the morning, doing some weird activities. And the point is, what I want to say is, I think that this is my thoughts on that one, especially. And I seen some posts about it, but I think that God, he has like some kind of a force field. This is my opinion, okay? It's not like yeah, I think it's probably kind of biblical, but this is my opinion. I think that God has a certain kind of protection over our minds, right? And once you start dibbling and dabbling in certain things, you're opening up doors
Hmm.
and portals and entrances, whatever, to the spiritual realm, to where you're going to see more crazy things because that defense mechanism that God put in us, it's like let down
Yeah.
somehow, And I
Yeah.
told this to this one guy that was said that he was getting off of it, and he said, "Bro, that's exactly what it is." He goes, that stuff opens up doors, bro." He goes, "I've seen some real demonic stuff on that stuff." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's crazy when he told me that. And I always thought about that because even when my little brother, he used to be on it and he pulled up on me. We're, kind of like fighting. And I kid you not, my brother's eyes were there like black. I never seen my
Yeah.
little brother like this. He was like blacked out, like a zombie, sis. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with my brother? But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that it was all that with him. I don't know honestly, but I felt like it was. But the point is, I think whenever you open up doors to certain things and you use certain substances, right, you are somehow allowing that stuff to come into your life, for lack of better words, right? Go ahead.
Somebody just put the word in the chat, and I'm just saying that we can't use the word in here
Go ahead.
of the substance that you're talking about. But no, Nino, you're absolutely right. And so whenever I was in law enforcement, and I worked a program for guys that were getting out, helped them with like building resumes and things like that. But I also helped in booking and all of that. The only time that I ever had to use excessive force on anybody was a lady that came in and was so messed up. And it is exactly what you said. There was no soul in her eyes whatsoever.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
completely
yeah.
I mean, they were as black could be. You knew you were talking to nothing. Like there was no comprehension there at all.
Man.
And she was one that also had picked sores all over her body, and she had tried to spit on me, and that's the only time that I had to like use excessive force on anybody. But it wasn't even a body because she had no idea. 2 days later, completely different person. Like,
What?
just yeah, after she came down off of the mess. I don't know if you've seen the video that was put out, and this was put out about probably maybe 7 to 10 years ago, of this woman out literally vacuuming the sidewalk because she was so messed up off of it that she was cleaning. She was literally
Damn.
vacuuming the sidewalk.
I,
I mean, I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying it puts
I,
you
I don't know.
like,
I remember homeboys back in the day, man. I kid you not, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I remember homeboys back in the day would go to a party and they were always on that. And they weren't even on that. They were on the other stuff, right? But then they'd be at the damn door looking at the peephole or looking at the blinds all night. Like, damn, bro, get over here, come chill. But they couldn't. They're just that was the thing with some guys. They would just be stuck on that damn looking out the damn window all night. But it's. I guess we're laughing at it now, but it's not a laughing matter, y'all. It's pretty
it's
sad,
really not.
especially when your people get hooked on it.
Yeah,
They like age quick. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just recommend everybody be out there, be sober. Do right by your family, work hard, and stay off the substances because and watch out what you entertain out there because stuff can affect you and your family. And I would even say this to my wife. I said, I believe there's and I believe it's biblical as well. There's demonic possession and demonic
hmm
oppression, right? Like
yeah.
I don't think a demon can possess a Christian, to be honest, but I think that they can oppress you, basically like harass you, hinder you certain ways. And I ain't trying
Oh,
to go, and I'm
absolutely.
not really trying to go into this kind of too deep and dark into this subject, to be honest, because I'm a Christian. I don't fear no one but God. But I'm just saying from the stuff that I've heard as of late, something that's kind of somewhat personal, I would say. Kind of affects our family in the outer circle. I would say this was brought up, sis. I was like, damn. I was like, hell no. This is, ooh, I got the chills here in the story barely, and I'll talk about it when I get the chance. But just right now is not the right time. But it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I completely agree with you. There was a time, in my life that, and I've talked about it, I was always brought up that we went to church, and we Southern Baptist, very strict Southern Baptist.
Mm,
But I found out, like, I guess around middle school age, that I was able to fight and I was good at it. And so in my mind, I would bully the bullies. That was my excuse, is that I bullied the bullies. But it got to a point that it was so bad that my parents were like, no, no more. Getting suspended from school, got like all this stuff. And they sent me to a Christian boarding school, and
whoa,
it absolutely changed my life.
good.
And I just think that you're right whenever you talk about like the oppression and the possession. I think that there are a lot of times that I can feel myself trying to like revert back to the way that I used to be whenever I get angry or I see things that people do to the people I care about. Like, my first thing is I'm just going to go mess them up, and I can't be that. I just cannot be that
Amen.
person. And yeah, so I think that we just always have to kind of watch what we do and what we
Amen.
entertain.
A-
Mom always said, "You are the company you keep."
Amen. Totally agree. And same thing with like being a Christian, like none of us are perfect. That's why I always said that if this flesh wants to just do evil things, right? The Bible says to die to yourself daily and put on the new man. It's an everyday battle to not do bad things, right? Just because you're a Christian don't mean that you're perfect and you're just gonna be, walking around, holy rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go into temptation, right? You can do bad
Yep.
things. You let your flesh overrule your life. You can make mistakes. You can do crimes. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. As a Christian, we are to be disciplined and not give in to our flesh and to our earthly desires. And once you do so, you're going to reap what you sow. I believe a Christian cannot, lose their salvation. Right? The Bible says that the Lord Jesus said that no one can pluck you out of the hand
Right.
of the Father. Basically saying that no one can take your salvation. I believe eternal means eternal, right? But I'm not trying to sit here and give a biblical, give some theology here. But I'm just saying I don't believe that you can lose your salvation. But I do believe if you live like the devil, you're going to attract the devil. See what I'm saying? You're gonna reap what you sow, straight up. And that's what I think it happens with a lot of people that fall off and get involved with substances, reverting back to old lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very careful. Be on your Christian walk, fellow Christians. Get back in your word. My wife's been trying to get back in her word. I'm gonna be honest. It's tough. Everything's life is so busy. And then I ain't gonna lie, I can't even find a good church in my city. It's tough right now. But I digress. Anyways, I don't want to keep going, y'all. Go ahead, sis. Final words. Go ahead.
So Melinda just brought up something that we've talked about also, and I always forget that alcohol too.
Hold on. ACB. Hold,
Wait a
hold, hold
minute. Wait
on.
a minute.
ACB,
I
don't be
know.
calling Trump a PDF, bro. If you don't got no proof, don't be calling him that on my chat, bro. Because you know what? That's a jacket to put on somebody. Where I come from, you put that jacket on somebody, you got paperwork on them, okay? And I've had family members hurt by real PDFs, and you don't call Trump a PDF on my stream, bro, without proper paperwork or a charge or an arrest, okay? I ain't playing with you, bro. You and Norbies and all them punk ass fools over there in Cali, for real, HCB, straight up. Don't be
I
calling
agree.
Trump. Don't be calling him a PDF unless you got paperwork, bro. Because I don't take that lightly, bro. I don't like PDFs, and I don't want to hear that crap on my stream unless you got paperwork, unless it's for real. Because I don't put that. You and Norby's and all them, and Norby's hangs with the PDF. March 16. Y'all put a jacket on somebody, and you don't even know what that word means. You're actually doing a disservice to the real victims of the real PDFs by calling someone like Trump a PDF with no freaking
Like
paperwork, bro.
SPM.
Yeah.
Yep.
So either quit saying that on my live, bro. I'll ban your ass off my channel, bro. Straight up. Go ahead.
No, but Melinda said that that's just like alcohol being called spirits. It puts you not in your right mind, and I just want to get to this real quick. And I
Hold
didn't
on.
think
He
that I
said
was
he
going.
said he said release new PDF files. Don't you know that the Obama appointed judge just blocked them? I put it on my page, sis.
And I just told him that he cannot use that PDF. It is a new electronic keyword. You cannot use that. Like, quit putting it on there, HCB, or I'm banning you from here.
Yeah, but the point is, an Obama appointed judge blocked the Steam files. Go check that out before you blame Trump for anything. Go ahead, sis. Final words.
And
Fool
that's
done
what I
pissed
was
me
just
off.
getting ready to say. Like, so look how much time has passed whenever it has been proven that by the time that Trump wanted to release everything, when you look at the original documents, it has been redacted so much that you can't even understand what any of it is talking about. Like, and it's not for us to judge anyway. Let's go after the real people that we're talking about, like the SPMs and everybody that supports him and all of that.
No, but it just pissed me off. Here they come. Oh,
Okay, he's done.
release the file. Release the files. Where the hell were you at under Obama and under Biden? Yeah,
Neo,
get him out of
you're
here.
gonna have to block him. I can't ban him, but
I
he
got
keeps
him. Get out of
putting
here,
the
HCB.
he keeps doing the keyword and
For real.
yeah, just yeah, I can't
For
do it.
real. Like, I'm just saying, when you've had a family member hurt by one of these people, you know what they
Mm-hmm.
really are. I went to court and
Yep.
made sure somebody went to prison for what they did. Okay, so don't be sitting here calling Trump one of those if there ain't no paperwork. He's not even arrested. There ain't no freaking proof. You know why
You know,
that really pisses people off that have really gone through that when you try to call somebody one that's not even one. It's freaking bullcrap.
and not even that, like, so to call me a racist, to call me fat, to call me whatever people want to call me, that is fine. But to ever put that label on somebody without proof, you cannot do that. That is absolutely something you can never recover from. And all of these people that victim shame, all I can say is shame on you. You know, all these people that stand up for SPM, and I didn't want to even bring him up tonight, but that, you know, it is just a kick in the gut to all of his victims. And
Yep.
I just have no tolerance for it. The files have been redacted so much that they don't make any sense. Like it is between Trump and God at this point,
Uh,
you know, and everybody that was on the list, they're gonna have to answer for whatever they
uh,
did and all of that. I voted for Trump to do the things that he's doing, illegal immigration, getting them out of here, and to be the best businessman for the country. Do I agree with everything he's doing right now? Absolutely not, but I still support him.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to label him something that he's not. That's a whole nother situation. So, anyways, but back to what I was going to say though. It
We
just
were talking about spirits and all that.
no,
Yeah.
but it's all good. Yeah, food threw me off my pivot thinking about that crap. Because that's all I hear with these fools. They bring that up. Like they probably didn't even vote. They probably never even supported Trump, but they want to come up with that crap about the files.
Mhm.
And, that's what I was gonna say. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. I'm saying things like Christy. I didn't vote for Trump just to release the files. I'm not gonna say I didn't care about it, but that's not something I ran with to vote for Trump. But I'm gonna say this though. Even if something got released at this point, y'all, I don't trust these people. I don't trust any information. They try to put out bad paperwork on me, fake paperwork on myself. Anything could be doctored at this point, y'all. So,
I mean, look at the interview that we did with Juanita Broderick and how Clinton never even was held accountable for the things that he did, you know. And then so you have years with Obama in office, then you have Biden and Kamala Harris in office. You think that those things were not, everything wasn't redacted to be whatever they wanted the people to see?
yeah.
It can't be trusted at this point.
Hey,
Like, and it's not me to decide if he did that or didn't do that.
hey, Charlie said SPM staying in jail. You know that's right. That fool is
That's
in
right.
jail,
He was
convicted.
denied parole.
No, but it kind of pisses me off too because that fool HCB reminds me of that dude Norby's in Marv 16. Them fools be over there making videos about me, lives about me, which I don't even care. I don't even respond to them. I don't even respond to nobody nowadays at all. But you know, Marv 16, Marvelous Inc. He is one of those words. He impregnated I don't even want to say the words here, and that's Norby's. You know, that's his best homeboy, and they are making podcasts and videos about me when they're over there. You know, perverts. You know. So, anyways, the point is, y'all. Christ is Lord. We ain't tripping. The whole point of this last part of the segment before we went off the rails was to tell you that be careful what you entertain because we do believe that there is demonic activity in the world. You ain't got to believe us. And to be honest, I'm a Baptist, new IFB Baptist, and you know the supernatural is not really pushed too hard in the Baptist circles. But I will be honest, I know what the Bible says, and I believe that there's some weird things that happen, especially whenever you indulge in certain substances and lifestyles. Final words, Christy, go ahead.
So I just want to go back just one little minute to the whole SPM thing and all of that. It kills me that all of these people are going to believe a list that has gone through so many hands that won't pay $2.50 to get the original court documents of SPM.
Yep.
Exactly what we pulled that talked about all of his victims, the things that he did, and that support him so much. And I'm so glad they denied that man parole, and I hope he stays there until his out date, whatever that is, 2047 or whatever. Yep.
Let them stay in there. And like I said, there it is, y'all. We do a quick live, y'all. It's probably longer than I wanted to, but it's all good. Appreciate everybody that jumped on here. Everybody stayed this long. I appreciate y'all. Everybody, God bless you in the name of Christ. Amen. And with that, sis,
Amen.
thanks for jumping on on the live with me, sis. We'll be going live more often throughout this week. We thank everybody watching now on the repeat. Facebook, we're on Kick, Facebook, YouTube, and I think we streamed on Twitch tonight too. With that, Chrissy, thanks for your time. God bless everybody else watching. And we're out of here. Have a good week, y'all. Christ is Lord. Trump 2024 and Mo 25. Stay alive. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, ladies. Hold on, sis. Bye, everybody.